Okay, so good morning, everyone. So welcome to RoboCup Asia Pacific 2021 Aichi. And this is at Home Education League Online Challenge. So today we have this poster session challenge, and everyone, all the teams gathered here, and also our panel jury member, we will together having our poster session presentation. And today we also going to determine who will get our Best Poster Award, right? So I'm Jeffrey, will be your host today, and thanks for coming, and hopefully we will have a nice event together. Okay, so the actual competition will start at 12 noon, Japan Standard Time, and then we have about 4 minutes before 12 noon. So please allow me to give you a brief introduction about this event. Okay, so let's get started. Right, so for at Home Education League, this time we have two types of challenges. One is on-site challenge at Aichi Sky Expo. If you're interested, you can log into our live streaming site. I put the link there so that you can see what happened on site. So we have actually on-site competition running on also starting today. Then over here, we have this online challenge, which is all the teams actually participate remotely. So as everyone are online on the Zoom platform now, and also our jury member also come from various part of the world. So with this online challenge, we can actually gather teams and actually people from everywhere around the world to join this competition. Okay, so for more details about this competition, and also if you want to know more information about, for example, the rules, the teams, the schedule, and the rest, and also to stay updated with our development and also progress, please log into our website. Okay, so you can scan the QR code over there to get to our website. Okay, so before I start, just a last reminder, the whole session will be recorded, so video will be recorded, and this video will be published online. So please refrain from turning on your mic when you are not presenting, and also stay on your camera so that for this whole poster session, so that we can do the whole thing together. Okay. Right, so as I said just now, this at-home education challenge in RCAP 2021, we have already received many teams to join, and we finally, these are the qualified teams for the on-site challenge and also online challenges, right? So initially we have 6 teams that qualified for the online challenges, but until the end, 3 teams are going to join for today's poster session. Right, and also I would like to say thanks for all the jury members that assist us for the judging today. So I'm not sure if they are online, but let me introduce them. So we have Amy Eguchi, Professor Amy Eguchi from University of California, San Diego, USA. And also we have a representative from SoftBank Robotics. So initially it's Fui, but today we have Edward here as a representative of Fui from SoftBank Robotics China. And also we have Lucia Liu from Jupiter Robot. So SoftBank and Jupiter Robot are both our sponsors for this event as well. So I would like to say thanks for the jury member. Okay, so last minute before we start, so just a brief explanation about what is going to happen after this. So each team will be given 15 minutes, okay? So in 15 minutes, each team can present 10 minutes, right? So you can have 10 minutes solids for your presentation. I will do the time, I'm also the timekeeper, so I'll do the timing. I will check the timing. So I will let you start, and I will stop you after 10 minutes of presentation, right? Then after that, we have 5 minutes Q&A, but during this 5 minutes Q&A, we will also try to swap to the other team so that to make sure that the next team can start sharp 15 minutes later, right? So while you are doing the Q&A, I would like to call the next team to get ready, right? So make sure you get ready during the Q&A for the next session. Okay, and each team can only present using one poster, right? And you can only use poster. You cannot show any of your robots or any demonstration or even video. You can't show anything about that. You can only show one static poster, right? Please share your screen and you can talk using your webcam. And multiple members are encouraged to join the presentation. All right, so for the judging criteria, we have these 3 judging criteria. I'm not going to explain in detail because we are going to start soon while I'm still waiting for one judge to be here and also the team. Okay, but for today's result, so the highest point for today's result will be awarded the best poster award. So I hope all the teams can try your best for today's competition. Okay, so I guess that's all for my introduction. If you have any problem, any question, yeah, feel free to turn on the mic and ask me now while I'm waiting for our judge to get ready. Okay, so I would like to check if Lucia online. Lucia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Okay. All right, good. So we have Lucia and we have Edward. So we're waiting for Amy, right? And then also for the teams that is going to do the presentation. So for today, the schedule with the first team is Kamen Rider Edu SP, which is still not online yet. I'm still getting them. Right. Then the second team is Harpoon, right? And then the third one is Kamen Rider Edu OP, right? Okay, so while waiting for one more judge, jury member to be here, we are going to start very soon. Right, so please allow a few minutes before we can start. We need to gather all the team member and also the jury member. Right, so Amy, you are here?
Yep, sorry.
Okay, it's okay, right. So we're actually waiting for the first team as well. They are not here yet.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm not the only one.
Yep. Okay, so this is the first session, so everyone maybe is not ready yet. I understand the situation, but we try to stay close to the time arranged before, okay? Right, the first team is still not here. All right, so Amy, just to brief you, we already have done the introduction, and this is the judging criteria and for the poster presentation. So we're waiting for the first team, then we will start the session, right? Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, I apologize for keeping you waiting, but I'm not sure if the first team is actually having trouble to log in. I'm still contacting them. Right, it seems like they have trouble to log in. May I ask the panel jury, so is it okay that we give them a short penalty, for example, because they have actually 5 minutes late than their presentation time? So can we proceed to the next team? And if let's say they turn up later on, we'll put them last, but we'll penalty them 5 minutes of presentation time. Is that okay? So which means if they turn up later, they will present last, but they only have half of the time given. Okay, so I would like to ask the jury member, if you agree with the arrangement, then we can proceed starting from the second team. Because it seems like they are not able to log in. I'm not sure why. But yeah, I will let them sort that out. But of course, the changes they have to bear some consequences. So their presentation time will cut short from 10 minutes to 5 minutes. So 5 minutes presentation and 5 minutes Q&A. Right. So for all the judges, the jury, if you're okay, then we will arrange to start from the second team. And if team member, for all the teams, if you have any suggestion or any comments, yes, you can voice it now. Right, so if you are okay with the arrangement, then we will proceed to start from the second team. Okay, it seems like everyone is okay with this arrangement. So if they turn up later on, we will give them a chance to present at the last slot, but with the deduction of 5 minutes from their presentation time. Okay, right. So let's start with the second team, right? The second team is Harpoon from China, right? So just to let you get ready, so team number 2, please get ready yourself. We are going to start in like 2 minutes time. So let me briefly introduce the teams today. So we have 3 teams that is going to compete for today. But this time in at Home Education League, because it's an education league, so we actually have teams from undergraduate and also from high school student. So Team Harpoon is from high school student. Because this is an education team, so education challenge, so we are actually open for any beginners teams, regardless their academic level, right? So everyone is new for this competition, so we will give everyone a chance. And also, the unique part for today's poster presentation and also for this at home league is like we are actually having 2 kind of platform, right? So we have the open platform and also standard platform competing together, because like this is a service robot presentation, so it is totally fine to have different platforms. So we will consider the standard platform as another type of robots for the competition. So later you will see like some teams are actually using the standard platform, which is over here is Pepper Robot from SoftBank. And also we have teams that using custom built robot as well. Okay, so this is a reminder for the jury members. So you can, based on this different background, based on their level of education, you can judge and give them point accordingly. Okay, right. So is Team Harpoon ready? You are going to start. So now the time is 12:15. So we will start at 11:15, which is your original assigned time. Team Harpoon, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we will start in 1 minute's time. Okay, so make sure your team member are all here, and also I will stop sharing my screen. So please put up your poster. Okay, but please don't start until I give you a signal. All right, so now it's 11:15. We will start. Right, team from Harpoon, you have 15 minutes, 10 minutes of the presentation. Please start your presentation.
Okay. Dear honorable judges and teachers, we are Harpoon. Our project named Homebreak.
These days, more and more electronic products come into our life. People communicate less than before, and what could be expressed orally is hidden in the heart and hand of mobile phone. In the social context, it has left gaps among people. In modern Asian society, the harmony of family communication always become a considerable concern for this reason.
And especially in the communication between the teenagers and their parents, the integrate between two generations with ideological independence. Our program plays an essential role among the communication of family members to efficiently reduce the contradictions caused by real communication in the family's daily life, provide innovative ways of communication for family members, and create a more harmonious family's atmosphere. And next, here's the program flow. When start the program, choose the system model as a task or daily. For daily model, the robot will detect the user's emotions. If the robot recognizes sad emotion, it will go to the dancing part, which is choosing structures to give a dance performance. After dancing, the robot will detect the user's emotion again. If Pepper detects a smile, it will move on to the other models that learn face for administration to read or record the members. If not, it will keep playing random jokes to make the users happy, which is the loop structure.
Well, the whole program is divided into emotion recognition, emotion regulation, record memories, and convene memories, 4 sections. In the section that called emotion recognition, we used RGB camera to implement functions of the face recognition and the emotion recognition, which is the first novelty designed. It will be used into greeting. After face recognition, we input the name and identity of the family members to integrate them with the information from face recognition by self-made keyboard with custom function. It is the second novelty. We divided the pixels of the screen into designated areas, each corresponding to a button. By touching the pixel of corresponding areas, certain efforts of A to Z letters entering and the backspace, space, enter, or exit are realized. After clicking the pixel to enter the name, press enter to input the name. In this way, we made a customized soft keyboard. When the robot senses that a family member is feeling negative, it will cheer them up by using actions, postures, gestures that we invented in advance, which is the third novelty. And Pepper will perform a customized dance, which is the fourth novelty that we programmed to cheer him up. The bumper sensor and the gyro sensor will be used during the Pepper's dancing. We also prepared the joke to hear his bad emotion if he can't happy after watching the Pepper's dance. We used a random function in Python to randomly generate numbers within a specified range, and each number corresponds to a joke, which corresponding to say and the show image box to realize the joke's taking. When the Pepper senses that a family member is happy, it will ask the user if they want to turn on the best memory. If the answer is yes, the producer enters the third section called record memories. We use Pepper's hand touch sensor to recognize touch signals, as well as the signals to take photos with RGB camera and start or end the recording audio. This is sixth novelty. During the whole progress, Pepper will use the microphones to give voice prompt and receive the voice from the family member. After recording, Pepper will ask the user if they want to share the best memory with other family members to protect their privacy. It is the seventh novelty. Conveying memories means Pepper will show audio and photos. It permitted to the play when meets other family members, which was selected. For the perspective of thoughts, in today's modern world, where face-to-face communication is replaced by electronic devices, family communication is decreasing. Our program can optimize the emotion transmission between families and create a more harmonious family environment.
Okay, for scientific contributions, general public sometimes lead to problems in daily life, especially in the family generation gap, where communication between two generations is sometimes hidden. Our program is well combined with the characteristics of the human-void robot. Pepper can capture people's emotions through the media and regulate their emotions to achieve the effect of the information transmission, promote the two generations in deep communication and conflict adjustment, science and technology into life. Our program developed and contributes to the scientific development, especially in the general public home environment. Our scenario tells the story of the boy called Jackie, who is praised and returned home happily. However, he became unhappy because his father was addicted to his cell phone and did not have good communication with him. We designed the Pepper program to comfort Jackie's hurt heart and use the best memory in the program to learn the message to his father. But we have encountered many difficulties and obstacles in the process of program development. Next, we will look at our ideas and the iterate process of programming updates. Firstly, we designed to develop the whole bridge that Pepper used the emotions and movement recognition to feel the emotions of families members to hear negative emotions through the dancing and joke. But family members are unable to stabilize their emotions until the part of the emotional regulation is carried out. Secondly, we have the idea to give the Pepper pat on the head and a hug when it sees the action of the squatting and showing signs of sadness. But the Pepper robot can recognize the action called squat. Next, change Pepper's recognition from squat to speech keywords. The rest of the program works fine. We also start or end the video by tapping Pepper's head. But we discovered that the recorded video can't be called by itself freely. So in the final version, we use the microphones to record the audio from the users and the RGB camera to take photos.
However, we also have some limitations. First of all, Pepper cannot clean up its own memory so that it can store each memory during the daily life. Second one, the robot response and its trigger conditions are too mechanical to perfectly adapt to all the arguments and family conflicts we encounter in life. And what's more, the robot's voice is still too mechanical and lacks the warmth needed for the atmosphere that the happy family should have. Additionally, there is a long delay in response to the commands. The robot's response is not natural enough, not close enough to human normal life and psychological activities. For future refinements, first of all, we want to diversify the language of Pepper so that all families around the world have a chance to experience the program. Second, we would like Pepper can organize and store its best memory independently and expands its storage capacity by using big data and cloud technology so as to carry more happiness. And hopefully, Pepper will have more storage space. And for summary, to sum up, through our innovative human-computer interaction program, we have effectively alleviated the problems caused by poor family communication and generation gap. In the future, we will further explore the technologies, functions, and scenarios that can be applied in the project, continue to supplement and strive for greater progress. Okay, that's all of our presentation. Is there any questions?
Okay, thank you, Team Harpoon. Right, so your time is just nice now. It's like less than 1 minute at the end of your 10 minutes presentation. So I would like to ask a jury member to pose some question for the Q&A. Yes, we have 5 minutes, so feel free to discuss with the teams for further improvement aligned to our objective in education.
Can I ask a question? Can I?
Yes, sure.
Yes,
of course.
Okay, so I wasn't quite sure what you meant by, it's kind of small to read. I think one of the shortage you talked about, I think it said you can't recognize the action called squat. What do you mean by that? Also, the other thing is before that, it says Pepper sensed the quat or sadness. I'm not sure what that means.
Well,
Because in our areas, the kids, when the kid feels he is sad, it is the usual movement to.
Well, in our area, when kids felt he is not happy or he is upset, he will always squat down, and maybe he will feel not sadness. And but however, Pepper cannot exactly recognize this action, so he can't. Pepper can't perfectly recognize the sense of sadness and which squat. So we change to speech recognition. Yes.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is Pepper cannot identify the posture when the kids squat on the floor.
Yes.
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 I see. So you
But
change
it's
it.
always do like that, but not exactly. It is always time the boy or who was sad or he will squat down and just hug his head to cry or do anything else.
Okay. And then so you change to boys. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So boys meaning
Pepper
the kid
or
says
I'm not happy or I'm sad or
Okay.
just like the crying, the sound of crying. Yeah.
Okay, so the you change to the communication.
Yeah, which we change the signal of the recognition.
Can I ask another question? One more question. So
Yes.
the hugging, I see the hugging picture, Pepper hugging the kid. Can Pepper actually hug a kid?
We set the height of the Pepper's head. The height. It can recognize the height of the boys, and the Pepper will hug the boy, said boy.
So Pepper actually moves toward a human and hug the human?
Yes. We custom the action of this, and it moves like a a real person.
Right, but paper actually usually stops when there's something closer than 1 meter. Proximity?
We stop the sensors.
Because paper has a bumper sensor, it will recognize something. It will recognize something near the paper and stop his movement. So we stop the sensor that when we hug, we stop the bumper sensor when the paper will hug the children.
Not quite sure how you actually did that, but anyways, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you got 1 minute more. Anything to add? All right, the next team, please get ready in 1 minute's time. Do you have any more things to add, Team Harpoon? All right, so if no, then thank you very much.
Okay.
Right, so
Thank you,
let's
thank you.
move to the next presentation by Team Kamen Rider Edu OP, right? So they are a collaboration team from various universities in Malaysia. So now they are presenting in another robot platform, right? So Team Kamen Rider, please start your presentation.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, we are Kamen Rider Edu OP from Malaysia. We are collaborating between several universities, which is UTHM, UTA, and UTM. As you know, in this pandemic situation, people are suffering from COVID-19. However, we often hear that there are a lot of issues and problems inside the vaccination center that we will tackle. So therefore, we have proposed two service robots which will tackle this situation for two different scenarios. The number one scenario is to serve the public, and the second one is to assist the nurses or the staff. So we have researched that there are three main problems that we will address.
Firstly, I'll be introducing the background and the aim and objective of our robots. So in the news, we often see that pandemic's outbreak is actually happening even in the vaccine center. This is due to close human proximity, contact, and also large human in a small area. And then so the second problem will be the shortage of personnel in the center. As we know that the COVID-19 has go way beyond our expectation, and the number has beyond what the hospital can afford. So therefore, no matter what the hospital has prepared, it's never be enough because the number is just keep climbing. And then the third one will be the communication barrier between races. Where in Malaysia, there's one very special situation where people speak different language. We have up to four language that's usually uses in life, and most of the people cannot speak other language. Therefore, it's important. There's always communication barriers in this situation. And not to forget, we also have mute people that are disabled and they couldn't speak. Therefore, we also design a solution for that. And our end and objective for our robot is to first reduce the physical contact between human, and that is the most direct way to reduce the chances of spreading COVID-19. The second will be communicate with different language to help the robot to adapt in all the situations that we could meet in Malaysia. And the third one is to reduce the burden of medical staff. This is just mainly to let the staff focus on what they good at, which is giving the vaccine itself, not the workload that is not needed for them to do. So in this competition, we have prepared two robots. On the left is the UTHM service robot, which is meant to service the public. And it uses a Turtlebot 2 base as the moving base, and Optec Extra Pro as the sensor. And on the right is the Utah service robot, which is meant to face the help as an assistant for the workforce in the vaccine center. We uses custom-made mobile base and also Crew LiDAR as our sensor. Next, I will shortly summary of our function in our robots. First is segmentation following, which acts as a follower program that will following human, which will be explained later. And second, we also have a multi-language communication system. Third is a native and gesture recognition. And last will be navigation and mapping. For the first problem that we meet is actually the issue of the outbreak in the vaccine center, which due to human close proximity interaction. To solve this, we use the first robot from UTHM that's designed to be the nurse or the receptionist. They are meant to be the first liner to communicate with the public. This will help to reduce the number of humans in the venue and also act as protection of our first liner. As they will, if they focus more in the vaccine, then the vaccine will happen faster. For the first robot, the purpose of this robot is to interact with patient and visitor. It uses voice recognition and communicate with the patient and gives response accordingly. It also guides the patient to destination accordingly to the needs, also using navigation and mapping. With this, the communication between humans can be reduced. And the second issue we meet is the shortage of staff. This is where the second robot comes in. Due to the high amount of COVID-19 patients, the limited nurse and doctor, the workforce in the vaccine center is often not enough. We often see the picture online that shows that how tired the nurse after one day of work lying there, and it's just making them dying. And sometimes you can see long queue outside the vaccine center. Never to forget, if the outbreak is happening in the vaccine center, some nurses are forced not to work because they got the COVID as well. Therefore, the second robot uses navigation and segmentation following technology to become the transporter between nurses. And we use the technology to transfer the vaccine from one place to the other. It replaces this seems easy but also time-consuming job and let the nurse focus on what they should do, which is the vaccine. It can carry a greater amount of vaccine at the same time and in a safer way. It can also reduce human interaction between workforce. For this, as for the follower program, we uses the white YOLO V4 algorithm to better recognize the human and follow them. The uses of this follower program is to fulfill two different scenarios that we can think. First is that you can following the nurse carrying the vaccine to an unregistered place, which is not usually on the map, and also help to dispose the waste from wherever it is. And secondly, since the vaccine center is often big, after the robot has reached the location of the the staff can further guide the robot to a more accurate places like the back of a storage to ease the workload, to ease the loading work.
Okay, for the third issue is the communication, which is due to multilingual people. So in this manner, we have used the CMU toolkit, which is the online version of library to train the data. So we use Scopper file, a list of words, and then train it through the online. And then once we train it, we get the output as the language model will be an offline version. So this offline version is more stable because it doesn't require any internet. So we implement the acoustic model, which is the sound of the robot, and then implement it together through decoder, which will be integrated inside the robot, which will be able to communicate with the human. So to support this, we have used the YOLO version 4 for the clothes navigation. What we have done is we analyze the clothes according to the person from their native background, and then attach it to the certain native language. Then the robot will be able to talk in that particular language. So in this case, we have used three languages, which is Malaysian, Pakistani, and Chinese. So as you can see from the graph, we got about 0.15 loss, so which is about 15% loss, which is a bit accurate. So we have used the dense net as our algorithm, which consists of 53 convolution layer. We have used also the mesh activation function, which is more stable and more accurate rather than the other activation function. But of course, what about the people who are disabled, who are mute, and who doesn't have the ability to hear? So in this case, we have used the sign language recognition method. So we are using the BIM language, which is the Malaysian Sign Language. So as you can see, we trained the algorithm using the TensorFlow through the MediaPipe. So we use the motion capture algorithm because it's more stable and it has more data rather than using a stable image. So as you can see also from the graph, that we have achieved about 90% of accuracy and 10% of loss. So as you can see from the picture, the person is saying hello, where the algorithm detects the landmark on from the palm of a person, so that by through the motion capture, the person will be able to communicate with the robot through the hand gesture. Okay, that's all from our side. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Your presentation, you also like spend 9 minutes for a presentation. We have 1 more minute, but we can start for the Q&A. So open to the jury member for question. Do you have any question or even suggestion for the team? Or any parts that you are not so clear? Yeah, this is the time for the teams to clarify.
Oh, and how long have you been working on this project? How long?
For us, because it's not really much time given. I think it's about a month and a half or something, or somewhere there, because yeah, that's where we started.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Yeah, can I ask a question? That's really impressive if you only have a month and a half. I'm a bit confused about how you use, okay, take it back. What you use to detect the language. I thought, initially I thought you said you use a person's speech and localize the language, but then you also use how the person dress to identify the language. Like, do you use two, or do you sort of, how does
sorry,
it,
can you repeat the question again? It's like,
so okay, so can you explain to me once more how a robot detects the language?
okay, so for suppose we have a language, but we don't know for which language the robot should be speak that particular language. So for that method, we have supported using the YOLO 4, where we use the native clothes will be integrated with the that particular language. So for suppose if a person from Malaysia speak Malaysian language, so these two modules will be integrated together and will work coherently.
So the robot identifies the language by looking at the person's clothes.
Yes.
And then that's like 90% accurate.
The 90% accuracy is based on the recognition of the clothes.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's really interesting.
Do you have any more question or suggestion? And teams, if you have anything you want to like extra information to provide, yes, you still have about 3 minutes time.
Then can I ask another question? So
sure.
Did you build those two robots, or are they something that you can buy?
No, we build it from the foundation, from scratch. Everything is by ourselves.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Any more? We still have 2 minutes for the discussion.
Then can I ask another question?
Sure. As many as you can.
No problem. Yes.
So I think you said that one of the robots actually helps the nurse to carry the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
We actually have two approach. One is the navigation and mapping, which is we use SLAM to draw a map of the vaccine center first, which is need a pre-work to draw a map. And then we set up a few points in the vaccine center, like the storage, the dispose, and the vaccine station where we give the vaccine. So the robot can move in between these when we also use voice recognition. So when the nurse says something, and the robot will do accordingly and move it to there automatically. But in an extra thing that we do is we add on segmentation following, as like places, sometimes the robot can reach a place, but what if the place is not exactly the place? Like it can reach the storage, but what if the vaccine is at the back of the storage? So we add the following program so that it can actually follow until the back of the storage. And then from the back of storage, then we will say like we go to the vaccine. And then from there, it will go directly to the vaccine to the nurse, to pass the vaccine to the nurse.
Right. So then, because I assume they don't have arms, right? So a human put the vaccine on the robot and it carries the vaccine to a nurse?
Yeah.
Does it ask a human what to do, or just they know what to do?
It's more like the way we program it is that the robot will first say like, how can I help you? So maybe the nurse will say like, can you help me transfer this? And then he will say, okay, please let me know if you have done. Then the person will put it on, and then you say done, and then you will go to the nurse.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Time's up. So now it's 11:45, which 12:45, which is the end time for the second team. Right. So let's look at the list. Is team number 1 here? Right. It seems like they are not able to make it. Yeah, the team is not, they are not in the list.
Is it just a connection issue, or is it
I
something
have
else?
no idea because they don't respond to my message. Right, so I can't really get them, but I got their supervisor, and also the supervisor can only send message to them. So apparently no show. Right, so well, we have to proceed as we need. So we already like given them the chance, but they don't show up until this point. So there is no way that we can continue. So I would like to ask the permission from the jury member that we can just proceed without them. Okay, but they are actually signed up and they are actually the official teams for this. So they should be counted as one team, but they just don't show up for the competition. So hopefully they might show up during the final, hopefully. But I'm not so sure. But yeah, I would like to ask the permission for the jury member so that we can proceed without wasting any more time for everyone.
Is it possible for you to find out what's going on? And is there any time during the final or maybe after the final to do the interview once more? I mean, give them another chance if that's possible.
Right. So I've contacted their supervisor, and apparently, like their supervisor also failed to get any response from them. Right. So I guess we can't do much today. But if let's say the jury member, we will discuss this later on. That if you want to give them a chance during the final for an interview, yes, we can arrange. But we also need to arrange this to be fair to the rest of the teams as well. Okay, because like the rest of the two teams, they are punctual and present according to the schedule. Right, so just to keep the fairness of the competition, since they are not here at this point, so I think like we have waited enough time. So let's see, right? So I'll try to contact them after this and see if we can arrange anything until Sunday, our final, but we have to proceed for today's session. Okay, so thank you very much everyone for your presentation. I guess it's quite a good presentation as compared to you can really show your robots, while the judges can actually try to understand what you try to do. Right. So I would like to thanks all your cooperation for the poster presentation. It seems like everyone is moving smoothly for your presentation. So no any other problem except one team didn't really make it for today's session. So everything is went well. Okay, so I would like to proceed to the next part of today's session, which is so just now a bit rushed for me to actually introduce the jury member today. So I would like after this to once again introduce the jury, and also I would like them to introduce themselves in more detail. Of course, they can do their self-introduction, and also please give some comment for today's session. Okay, so yeah, so give some comment about the team's performance today, and also your view about their performance or their presentation, so that we can give more feedback for the teams to improve for the final. So today, whatever that they present, they will actually do the robot demonstration during Sunday final presentation. So hopefully you will have some brief idea about the technical stuff, because today we spend most of the time for the technical explanation, because always during the final, we don't have time to let the team actually explain about their algorithm, their calculation, the scientific work that they have done. So today is the chance that we can discuss more in depth about the technical development, right? But of course, you will see the actual robot in action on Sunday, okay? So so now I would like to invite the jury to introduce yourself and give some comment for the improvement of the team. Okay, so the first one, yeah, Professor Amy Eguchi. So thanks a lot for joining us today, and it's always grateful for your support for this event. And today you actually saw teams from high school actually presenting the Pepper robots, and also teams from university showing their customized robots. I understand the background and everything is very different and not easy for you to put a score, but we have to determine the score as well. Okay, so because today we are giving out the best poster award, so you have to decide which one is better according to their level and also according to their development, right? So let's invite Professor Amy to introduce and also give us some comment.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amy Gucci. I'm actually from San Diego, United States. So it's almost 8 in the evening on today's Wednesday. So a day behind you, I guess, most of you. Thank you so much for all the poster presentations. It was really interesting. I wish for possibly next year we can actually get together and then actually see the poster, because looking at the poster online is a little bit difficult. But I thank you for zooming in and out so that we can kind of see the whole picture, but also the details on the poster. So I'll give you a little bit of, hopefully you can improve during the finals. So I'll give you some feedback for both teams. So the first one is Harpoon. So I kind of see the whole sequence of the performance of the robot from the flow chart, but I would probably suggest you to, for example, so if the human doesn't become happier, you keep giving different jokes, right? But what if it just keeps going and going, nothing improves? You can't just keep doing it, right? So then possibly you can have a next step instead of just looping the jokes forever, because that's gonna get possibly irritating for a human, right? If you are the one and then the robot giving you jokes and then you are not really happy to actually hear it. So something else to think about, if you can make some addition, changes by, so the final is Sunday, right? To improve that performance, that could be probably better. The other thing is the overall goal is to improve the communication amongst the family. I couldn't see how what the robot is doing is actually improve the communication amongst the family member. So if you can clarify that during the final, that'll be actually really good. For the Kamen Rider OP, it's just, you know, different age, different group. It's hard to compare, so I'm not gonna try to compare, but it's I think what you explained to me, if that all works, that's really fantastic. So make sure all parts are working, and also having two robots, sometimes the presentation becomes a little bit difficult, right? Because you have two robots, and then what if one doesn't work? Or if two are too independent and it doesn't look like they're, I mean, you didn't tell us that two robots are they're collaborating each other, but you can probably make it look like collaborating each other. So that could be, instead of being just there to do independent work, if there is some collaboration kind of thing, if you can show that is quite natural in the human environment, right? So that's my suggestions or feedback. If you can do it, if you don't worry about it. If you can't do it, still great. But I think that's my wish list for next Sunday presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Professor Amy, for the very constructive suggestion. I really hope like the teams benefit from this session, especially they have put up a lot of effort to explain in just using a poster. And also, I think this feedback will be very useful for them to improve themselves. We still have a few more days for the final presentation, which is we are going to fight for the ranking as well. Okay, right, thanks a lot. And let's proceed to the second jury member. So we have a representative from SoftBank. So today we have Edward. So Edward, can you introduce yourself and also try to give some feedback for the teams today?
Thank you, Jeffrey. I'm Edward Zhang from SoftBank Robotics China. I take the responsibility of business manager for overseas market in my daily job. And today I'm so happy and honored to represent Fu Yi, our sales director, to be one of the jury members. Actually, I'm very impressive for both of two teams' performance. And for the first team, Harpoon, I really like the poster. It's a very nice poster, and the structure is very solid and clear. During the Q&A part, actually, I want to ask one very simple question, but not very technical, is because I see you really apply the program in real life, right? And it's a very, very interesting topic for home communication, family communication. I really want to ask, when you work on the program, do you take advice and comments from your parents? Because personally, I believe every single family has their own communication issue, maybe. And in the final part, I find that you want to explore more kinds of language types in the future. So it would be involved different types of culture difference. So I believe in next time, maybe you can deep dive more types of culture difference, and to consolidate it together, apply on the program. Yeah. And for the second team, it's also very, very impressive. And like Professor Amy, I'm also very interested in the traditional closing detection function. And I also believe it should be a very big, it needs a very big database, because the closing type is different. Even for one country, right? And I suggest maybe next time you can, based on the real application scenario, and to explore and research countries or the people who would be, be involved in the scenario frequently, and to solid the database. Yeah. Okay, that's all my comments. Thank you again.
Right, thanks, Edward. Thanks for your very
Thank
suggestion for the team as well. So hopefully the comment will be beneficial for the teams to improve further your development. All right, so next we have Lucia from Jupiter Robot. So I would like to invite Lucia to introduce herself and also to give some comments to the team.
Oh, hello everyone, and my name is Lucy, and it's a great pleasure to be here. And I'm from Jupiter Robot. Jupiter Robot is a hardware robot development company, and it's also a great honor to participate in RoboCup home education. And our company's mission is to promote artificial intelligence and robotics education. And in the future, we also very willing to contribute to strengths for RoboCup home education. And yes, today I saw it's great to see the students doing very well, and I also saw a lot of great ideas, and it's very wonderful. And thanks again to all the teams for the wonderful presentation, and it's very wonderful. Yes, thank you all.
All right, thanks a lot for your comment and also feedback. So with that, we have done for the judging of today's poster session. So I would like to briefly explain what is going to happen after this. So we are going to close the session, and then the team will leave the meeting room so that we can have a discussion with the jury member to finalize the score today, because I need to submit the score by end of the day to the organizing committee. And also we have to, and that's also mean that we have to decide the winner for the best poster award. And also one more thing is that the score for today will be used for the sequence of the final. So the highest score today will present last in the final. So that is according to the tradition of RoboCup at home that we usually do in this arrangement for the presentation sequence. And today's sequence is totally based on their draw. So they draw the sequence randomly yesterday during the team lead meeting. Okay, so it is fair for everyone. Right, then just for the audience as well, because this is recorded as a video. So today we have the poster session to let the team explain about their technical development. And let's look forward on Sunday, which is during the final session. The team are going to show the robot demonstration. So they will do a presentation and also the real robot demonstration. So for this at-home education online league, this time in RCAP, so as I explained just now, we have the on-site and online. So for the online, we're not doing any virtual robots competition, but instead we are doing the remote robot competition. So which means the team actually develop real robot, and they are going to show their robots during the finals. Okay, so let's look forward Sunday for the great performance from our team. Okay, right. So thank you for your cooperation, and it is a very nice poster session. Although we don't have many teams today, but I think this format is very nice, and we can do it online. So I hope like this model will be continue and also improve in future competition event as well. Right. So once again, thanks a lot for your cooperation. So I would like to close the session because we need to off the recording as well, and then we will proceed with the discussion with the jury member. All right. So thanks a lot, everyone, and see you again on this Sunday. You can find our schedule. So let me put back the link so that you can find. Okay, so right. So this is a link. So you can go to our live streaming site to see our on-site challenge. So now it's actually happening at Aichi at Sky Expo venue. And then our online challenge today is a poster presentation, and we will have a final during this Sunday, right? And you can find the more detail like the date and so on at our website, right? So from our website, you can find all this information. So you can just, snapshot the QR code and you can, it will bring you to our website, right? So thanks a lot. Thanks for the team. And we will see you again on this Sunday. So for the teams, please leave the meeting rooms and we will discuss among the jury member. Thank you very much and see you on Sunday. Right, so wait, so before that, maybe sorry, we need to do a group photo. Right, so I guess like this one to show that everyone appear, although we can't really do a photo, but okay, so let me call everyone to turn on your webcam, right, if you can, right? So we just want to like wave to the camera to record down everyone who participate today event, okay? So everyone, please turn on your camera, Kamen Rider and Harpoon, for your screen to know what is that, right? Okay, so right, thanks a lot. See you on Sunday. All right, thank you. Okay.